If you go diving into Texas history, you will find that there are two Alamos. The first is the crumbling adobe church where, by some quirk of fate or destiny, battles were fought and legends made. The second is the shrine to Texas independence surrounded and dwarfed by the skyscrapers of downtown San Antonio, where the last moments and movements of heroes are etched in bronze and sculpted in stone. Come with me to San Antonio on a visit to the mission that became a fortress, and a fortress that became a shrine. Come with me to the Alamo. The best way to take in the Alamo is to begin on San Antonio's river walk, the Paseo del Rio. Begun as a flood control measure and expanded into a tourist attraction, the Riverwalk is the city's effort to tame the San Antonio River throughout the downtown area. Today, the walkways are lined in restaurants, bars, and attractions, seeing tourists and walking traffic almost continuously since the first stage of the Riverwalk project was completed in 1946. Walking up to street level, you will find yourself in Alamo Plaza, the heart of downtown, surrounded by tall hotels and government buildings, and in the middle of this urban sprawl, our destination, the Alamo. Here, the first-time visitor probably would be shocked. The sprawling adobe fortress and gently rolling plains of our collective historical imagination, aided by Hollywood movie magic, is in actuality a densely wooded and tiny compound centered on the Alamo Church. It is the church's facade that has become a Texas icon, even if the distinctive hump wasn't a part of the building until it was added after the famous last stand of the Texian defenders in 1836. Altered, repaired, and re-repaired, the church shrine has come a long way since the dawn hours of March 6, 1836, when the last Texian defenders were killed here. Here we see bronze plaques that tell us where legend suggests Davy Crockett fell, swinging his rifle Old Betsy, where Alamo commander William Travis drew a line in the sand and asked the men who would stay in the fortress and die with him to cross over it. Look closely at the church's facade, and you'll see that it has been covered in etchings and other graffiti, much of it almost 200 years old. Where those that scratched their names into these walls Alamo defenders, missionaries, troopers, businessmen, or tourists? A guide showed me where the name of David Crockett had been carved into one of the alcoves that had housed a statue of a saint. Whether or not it had been etched by the real Davy Crockett during the 13 days of the Alamo siege, no one can say. To enter the church is to enter a place sacred to Texas history. Silence and respect is not just encouraged, but expected. What is the Alamo and what is not? She was a mission complex of adobe buildings that included a convent, homes and barracks, a church, and thick walls encompassing an area of over 3 acres. Today, visitors will see an Alamo compound that looks nothing like the fortress of 1836. The exterior walls are modern additions, and the only original buildings are the Alamo Church itself and the long, low quarters known as the Long Barracks. During the 1836 battle, Texians fell back to the Long Barracks as their positions of last defense, where they died in fierce hand-to-hand, room-to-room fighting. Today, the Long Barracks house museum exhibits. Recently, additions have been made to the compound to suggest more of its 1836 appearance, including facsimiles of the palisade, the main gate, and the southwest corner where the big 18-pounder was stationed. Your visit to this shrine to Texas independence won't be complete without stopping a moment to gaze at the statues and names on the cenotaph. The word means empty tomb, which can be confusing for Alamo visitors. The cenotaph has never held remains and is simply a memorial to the Texian defenders. Across the street from the northern wall of the modern compound lies a government building, and on that corner, where the northwest parapet would have been in 1836, the Alamo's commander, William Travis, died during the early moments of the assault as Mexican troops surged over the crumbling adobe. A plaque inside the Alamo compound points this out to any curious visitors. But from the site itself, looking back at the church, it would be difficult to imagine the rage and horror of a pre-dawn battle. In fact, one of the biggest challenges facing an Alamo visitor today is one of simple imagination. The greenery, the koi swimming through the water channel, the swarm of visitors. It can be difficult to imagine the roar of battle. The trick is to focus on one thing, one element, a corner of the adobe church, the flag flapping in the breeze. And when you do that, you can start to hear the past. And if you're lucky, you can start to see it too.